For lunch today, I wanted something light. Plus, I had a bag of spinach at the bottom of my fridge just staring and judging me for eating so much pastry this week. And I think we've all been there. Healthy version of us go shopping and buy healthy stuff that later we totally forget about. So, anyways, made the spinach casserole kind. I got 5 potatoes. I think I could have gotten away with 4. It really depends on the size of your casserole dish. I'm cutting this very thinly. I could have used a Madeleine, like the shaver, but I only have a Japanese one which cuts super fine chip like potatoes, which is not what I needed. I got a cold water start to boil up. I put salt to it, just like about a teaspoon, and I let my potatoes cook in the water about 78%. And then I have these artichokes. I love this specific one from Costco. There's 2 in 1 pack, and with this I got about a handful of artichokes. So when I'm gonna cook the spinach down, it's gonna be almost the same amount as the artichokes I have here. Plus the dish I'm using is a little bit smaller than like your average casserole dish, so I'm just chopping up the artichokes first and then the spinach. I'm using a whole bag, which is I think just like a basic size at the grocery store. It looks like a lot, but once it starts getting cooked, it's gonna shrink at least 4 times shrink. Just chopping these up, doesn't have to be too small, maybe like half or 3 1/3, as well as you can. Does not need a lot of chopping, just roughly get it chopped. Chop, 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 chop it all. And my potatoes is just about to be done. I take it out and put it separately in a dish, which I'm gonna keep on the side. Later on, we're gonna use this to layer the casserole. Nice. And it's about like 78-80% cooked through. Hot pan on the same spot where the water was. A little bit of oil, 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic, which is about maybe 4 cloves. You can always go for a little more, maybe a little less, and a teaspoon of flour. Mix this all together until the flour and butter. I was gonna say butter. Oil and garlic is all combined, just so you no longer see flour bits. Into this, I am adding the spinach. See, it looks like it's a lot, but it's really not. Once it starts shrinking, it's gonna be a lot smaller, but it's gonna be perfect size for my filling. And I think I really just use about 4 potatoes. Into this, I added the artichokes. And once the spinach is cooked down, it's gonna look like there's an equal amount. You can also add more artichokes, it's really up to you. Black pepper to taste, I add a lot. As you can see, at least half teaspoon. And it just keeps going. Very peppery, love that. Now also salt. For salt, I'm adding a big pinch. Once the sauce has come together, I'll taste the sauce and then I'll determine if I need more salt or not. So this is just cooking a little, and then I added 250 milliliters of heavy cream. Mix, mix, mix. It does look a little too wet, but trust the process. We're also gonna add cheese, and it's all gonna come together and looks very beautiful, very harmonic, so good. I think I should have added more garlic though. Yeah, look at that. Already looking so much better. And then I add an equal amount of milk, 250 milliliters. Now this is gonna cook a little bit, and then I'll add cheese. I added about a cup of shredded cheese. I'm using the Mexican blend. I just love this specific type because I think it melts very well. However, if you want like a nice cheesy pull to it, more cheesy, more cheesy, then you can add 2 cups of cheese or 2.5 cups of cheese. Really up to you. I want it to be light, but still saucy and still creamy. And a cup of shredded cheese was absolutely perfect amount for this. Greasing my pan. I also preheating my oven to 350, and we're gonna cook this bake this at for 40 minutes. Low and slow, because the potatoes are not 100% cooked. For my slices, I'm slicing it down slightly, laying on top of each other, and for me 3 layers came out, which is a very nice portion per person. So this will be like, in this dish there's 4 portions. They're pretty generous. Feels very fatty portions. Putting a third of my sauce on top, and then just gliding over those potatoes. Make sure you cover everything, but my top layer is gonna have the most sauce, so as it cooks, the sauce is gonna fall down, slide down. So if there's not enough sauce on the bottom, it's okay, because it's all gonna come down. So the potatoes is basically marinating and cooking in the sauce and absorbing the flavors. So this is, I think, my last layer. Look how big that pan is compared to me. It's also very heavy. I think it would be like a average size for someone average. This is my last layer, and on top of this I'm gonna add the most important part, the cheese. Yes, and the cheese. A lot of cheese. I think I dipped my hand into that bag at least 6 times. You're not seeing every single time, but that was a lot of hand dipping. And also my dog heard the bag and he knows the bag, so he had to come and beg for some cheese. He loves cheese. He also knows the exact sound of shaking of a whipped cream spray bottle. Yeah, it is ready. If your potatoes are not 100% cooked, just add 10 more minutes, check on it. If it's not cooked, add 10 more minutes, check on it. If you feel like your cheese is burning because you need more time on it, put aluminum foil on top and let it basically steam. Ooh, looking so good. It was so easy to make and also so cheap. Like, this whole casserole costs probably like $5.60. The most expensive is the spinach, which like a bag is like $3.20. Potatoes you might even have at home. The amount of artichokes we use is probably like 13 cents. So very affordable, very delicious, and I think low calorie.